There we go. What's up, y'all? Hanging out.
Hello.
Rambler, Kenneth, KDL. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
What's the workout? I know. Did you work out today, babe?
What are you
No,
talking about the 100-day workout? If you're
yeah.
talking about the 100-day challenge with Bill, it is 100 dumbbell clusters.
Oof.
So we will do that after.
Wasn't there one where you just made it by like 2 seconds to be able to put it
Yes.
on?
So I think it was week 25. We had did the workout and I got him ready to go to bed. He went to bed and I just was hanging out, scrolling and watching TV and just kind of settling down before we went to bed and didn't even think about it. And so then went to bed and I jumped up at like 2 o'clock and I was like, what is wrong? Why am I jumping up? And I was like, oh shit, I think I forgot to post. So then I checked and thank God our time zones are different.
Yeah.
Because I had just made it within like 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. I just made it. So thankfully, I didn't ruin it for my kid, for our for our kid. I thought that I ruined the challenge. And it was so funny because Bill was like, oh man, you just made it. I was like, if I could tell you the story of how I did, like, yeah. So we're still in it. I think it's day 33 or 34 today. So
And it's 100 days. So you guys are going to be.
100
He loves
days.
it.
Yep.
Little G loves it.
He's in it.
He's all about it.
He is competitive.
Yeah.
So he's in it every day. You know what I mean? Like there are some days we almost go to bed and he's like, Mom, we forgot our 100-day challenge. And I'm like, shit, you're right. Yeah, we did forget those. So I always plan to do them earlier in the day, first thing when he gets home from school. But the day is just so busy and it's so nice outside right now. Like he just wants to be outside and drawing chalk and running around and hitting the baseball and all type of stuff. So like we all kind of forget what's going on, but we made it. So I didn't ruin, my kid's chances of winning the 100-day challenge. So
How was the game? Oh yeah, he went to see hey Megan, what's up? Dents, what's going on, lady? Joseph.
Marco, Jeremy, as always.
Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, they went to a Ducks game today.
As you can tell, the video doesn't do justice. I am burnt to a crisp. Like my nose, my face, my back is pretty burned, but it was great.
You forgot that you're a ginger.
I didn't forget. I just think that the weather was so nice today. Like the wind wasn't so bad. It was just enough breeze. And I honestly was just so excited to be outside and
CrossFit. It was a baseball game. It's like our whatever the local, it's not pro, but maybe single A or something team.
Yeah. I do have SPF 100 skin. I also did not bring any sunscreen. Not at all.
The kid's not burned though. He's good.
He's got a little bit on the back of his neck, but that will tan. I am the only one in this family that does not tan. But it was great. So what it was.
Hold on. We got to call her.
Oh yeah.
What's up, dude?
Hey, Garrett. Listen, I don't want to take you guys off topic, but I got to ask you guys something.
As always.
I just recently found out that you're part black. I didn't know you were part black.
Yeah, my dad's black.
Or half black.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So check this out. I've been going over to the black sector on YouTube. There is a black sector. There's like this, whatever. They don't want me over there, right? Like all of a sudden, like I'm a racist. So just out of curiosity, do you feel like you fit in more with black people or white people?
I don't really fit in. That's kind of like my whole saga, right? Growing up, it was like I'm half black, half white. I look like a boy, but I'm a girl. Like that's just I don't really fit in. I just fit in with people, I guess. I never really looked at it like that. I mean,
okay, but how is it like in like the black community? Like, do people even know that you're black, or do they even
everybody
do they think you're not black enough?
Everybody that I grew up with knows that I am. But I mean, most people don't. I would say most people kind of come up and think I'm like Puerto Rican or something.
Yeah.
And speak to me in Spanish and whatever. So, but I've never thought about it. That's why I think now what era we're in right now is so weird. Because she fits in. Yeah, Jonathan Ortega is right. She fits in with us Browns, gang. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, my sisters probably have a completely different experience than me because they're much darker than me. And their kids are much darker. So they probably
Hmm.
have had different experiences, but I no, I guess not. Like I don't really we didn't grow up like that. That wasn't nobody gave a shit. You just went outside and played with your friends.
Yeah, that's how I grew up too, and it's just weird. Like on YouTube, it's just like, holy crap! I didn't even know this existed, man. Like I really didn't know. Like he came on these black channels. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh yeah, it's right. I forgot. Let me ask her. Let me find out. So anyway, thank you. And by the way, Jake,
Oh
And
boy.
Jan, I'm very upset with you guys.
Here we go.
Very, very upset with you guys to the max.
Jan was very
So,
happy when
yeah.
you came onto the show last night. So just
Well,
so
I don't know if I don't know if they want me around anymore. So tell them to reach out to me. I don't know.
we'll have to do a
I
mediation.
feel like I did something wrong.
A
That's-
Yeah,
mediation.
all right.
We'll do a
All
mediation.
right, all right,
Bye.
Bye,
all right,
dude.
love you guys.
Later. Oh, there we go. I'll reconnect it. That is Ken Walters. Come on, not black enough. What the hell did that caller mean? I mean, I've had a lot of people tell me that I can't understand their experience because I'm not dark enough to understand. Like that's why I say like my sister's experiences are probably different than mine and their kids. I, but I've never thought about it that way. So
Well, you were saying too that it's very different now than or yeah, it's very different now than it used to be. Like that wasn't a thing. Everybody just hung out with everybody and was more like
she has great credit. That's what that means. Coming in hot.
well, thank you. The chat always can
Yeah,
put it
you
into
explain
words.
it better.
Can
Yeah,
put it
good
into
job.
words for
Good job. Good job.
us. Yeah, it was kind of like everybody just hung out with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
Anyway, back to the baseball game.
Oh, so yeah, so it was a family event. So it wasn't their first official game. It was like their last game of their spring season. I know my nose is so red. I look like Rudolph. um, so you got, families, everybody could go. It was for free. So you could go in and you could see the venue, you could see the place, you could take pictures with the mascot, see the place, you could take pictures with the mascot, and also too, you could get the players to autograph stuff. So they had an autograph hour. It was like,
And
it
he
wasn't
loves
an
that
hour.
stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't an hour. It was like 20 minutes, but and that got pretty intense. Like people were pushing and shoving for some autographs, and so we kind of went to the other side. You didn't have to stay in line because if that was the case, then 90% of us would never have gotten through. So the guys were like, just find somewhere to go. And so we kind of took the second half and was able to get through the second half and then made our way around and got the first couple people. We probably missed like 10 of the players. But it was super cool. They had bouncy houses, things were super cool. And then if you stayed longer, so we didn't stay during, like we stayed there for a while, but you could have watched their last spring.
Meg, he's watching NFL Network right now. He's getting ready for the draft.
Oh yeah, no, he's
He-
spent
yeah.
with people and socializing. He did great though. Like he went and so we were sitting in the stands and at one point that when they were practicing, he went down the stairs and all the way up to where the fences were or the nets were. And there were other kids there and he was talking to them and socializing with them. And I very much just gave him that opportunity to go. He was in a bouncy house with a bunch of boys jumping around, pushing around and whatever. And I also gave him that space to be in there. And he got out and was happy and then wanted to do it again. And then it was cute because the little boy that he was talking to at the net had ended up catching one of the fly balls or the foul balls, ran over and was like, dude, look, went over to G. So like he really had a really good time while we were there. And he's excited for the next game and excited for the next
I
game.
have to say, when he does get put into the social situations with typical kids, they don't treat him any differently. They like he does what he does to try to get his points across and have conversations. And I have to. There are kids out there that are just great. He's never really had any problems with that. It's been awesome.
Yeah. And if the focal point is on something specific, like it's easier for him to be able to focus on that thing. You know what I mean? Like we're at a baseball game, so he wants to talk about the players and being at the stadium and all type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like if it's certain things that he wants to talk about, I've noticed that sometimes it's not as received well. But not every kid wants to talk about the same thing.
And not every kid knows stats the way that he knows
Right,
stats. Like
right.
he knows ridiculous amounts of stats.
Yeah.
So
He wanted to buy all the cards at the game, and I was like, "No, bud, we're
No.
not. Like, we're gonna be here for the entire season. Probably by the end of the season, you'll probably have all the cards, but like, we don't have to buy them all right now." He wanted the, the foam finger. I was like, pick a shirt, pick a hat, and
And-
we'll start there. We'll be back. We'll probably get a bunch more stuff, but like, let's just get these at
this
first.
is good. I got to bring this up.
Yeah.
Ortega, she probably changes her smoke alarm battery on time. I saw that trend. And no, I don't. I always wait for the beep, but I do change it. But I didn't even know that was a stereotype. That was hilarious. I was like, what is going on? I didn't even understand the trend when it first came out. And then I think Jeremy explained it to me. I was like, oh, okay.
Good old Jeremy. He explains it all the time.
The thing that's scaring me a little bit is next week is his, we started to talk about it a little bit, but next week is his teeth pull. He has to get his teeth pulled.
Yep.
And I wasn't nervous about it. And now I'm starting to get pretty nervous about it. He's going to get the laughing gas.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a little nervous to how he's going to react to it. If he's really going to be like the way that the orthodontist has framed it is like, I have to hold him with both arms, both legs.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that freaks me out a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Obviously we have to do it, but I hope his reaction is okay.
Well, the hardest part is us staying calm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to stay calm. So, because he started to ask questions about it today. He started to be like, Mommy, wait, when am I going? I said, you're going Friday, because he was talking about going to the game next week. And I was like, we can go if you feel okay after your surgery. And he's like, what surgery? And I was like, okay, my bad.
Yeah, and you said the word
yeah.
surgery.
I was like, when you get your teeth pulled. And so he started to ask questions, and I said, well, Mommy's going to be there with you and all the type of stuff. And so he's starting to ask questions. And I think the best thing we can do is just continue to talk to him about it and try to keep him as chill as possible. That morning, he'll obviously be home. He can sleep in. He can do all his things. He can hang out.
We're not giving him, like, they said something that they could give him a Valium or something beforehand too.
Something, yeah.
And we were like, no, we'd rather not do that.
Yeah.
But he's got to get the Novocaine shot. He's got to get that long needle and everything else. So yeah, I'm a little worried about it.
I think that that's going to be the most difficult part, is to get the needle. But I'm hoping that they will allow. I'm hoping that they'll allow us to bring headphones in, so at least he can listen to music. Obviously not a tablet or anything like that, because he'd be distracted playing it. But at least
because you can hear it, right? Like you can hear when you get your
Yeah.
teeth pulled.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he's going to respond to that.
Yeah. So hopefully they will allow us to bring some headphones in so he can listen to his music at full blast and not hear anything. And we're actually hoping that the gas will make him tired. He's so skinny. He's so tiny. So hopefully the gas will kind of knock him out, at least for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Philip Kelly, what's up, dude? Dentists are pretty good about not letting them see the needle. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
This guy seems cool.
He's so cool, so nice, explains everything, very, kind, and
He lets Garrett hold all the equipment
Yep.
and look at everything. He even gave him a mirror so he could see what he was pointing to.
Joseph, he's not allowed to listen to Sevon or Kill Taylor.
Schedule it for 10 a.m.
It's actually at 10:30. So.
Yeah, he probably could. It's Friday, so it won't be Kill Taylor, but
Yeah.
he probably could listen to it. He'd probably be good about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know.
that's the only thing I'm a little
sucks.
bit. Yeah, it's gonna be way worse for us than it will be for him.
Yeah. It sucks, but it's one of those things, he needs to have it done. And so
The other thing too is we have such a good support system. Like I was talking to Preston's mom. Preston is is Garrett's like best friend. They both go to what is it? The point
Mhm.
where it's just basically for kids on the spectrum or whatever, and they hang out and do their things. And she does not know any of the support that's out there. Like, you just got him OPWDD.
Yes.
And
So we can finally say
yeah,
that he has been accepted into the waiver program at OPWDD. It's called self-direction. So they have opportunities for funding to go to camps and day habs and have people come to the house and stuff like that. But a lot of that stuff is so far away. Like, I'm not driving him after school for an after school program that's, an hour away. So what we can request is called self-direction, where we bring the programs to um, OPWDD and say, "Hey, we would love to get him enrolled in this. Will it be covered?" And so he's officially been accepted into the waiver program, so he will get some sort of funding for the year. And we have a meeting coming up with a broker. Like, we will be in constant contact with her about very much sending her the information. Hey, we want him to do boxing. This is how much it is. Can it be covered? He does tennis camp over the summer. Um, will it be covered? Will you pay for some of it? Will you pay for half of it? Something like that. I don't know all of those details, but the biggest hurdle was getting him accepted. And so we can actually say that he has been officially accepted. So I'm so happy for him for that.
and it's really cool too. It's like he's got his own bank account, so he
Mhm.
can use the stuff for whatever it is that he needs to go get. It's cool, and I was just shocked that she didn't know about it. And Preston's even more. I guess he's just he's less verbal than Garrett
Yeah,
is,
his speech
and he
is just
stims a
taking
little
some
bit
time.
more.
Yep. Yeah.
But it was do you have anything like that in your state, Kenneth? I got to assume that it's pretty much all over the place.
I'm assuming.
What's up,
Yeah.
Jake?
Hi, Jake.
Because
I
they,
hope your trip is fun. We missed having you on the show last night.
yeah, we did.
Um,
Because the schools are kind of with,
well, it depends because one of my really, really good friends from elementary, like childhood growing up together and whatever, she is down south in Florida, and the accessibility to services is not as forthcoming as it is here. She's struggling a lot. She's struggling a lot to even just get him tested.
that's
So
crazy.
it very much depends, again, with most things in the state that you're in. We're very lucky, but even in this community, even on Long Island, even in our school district, even in our, neighbor school districts and stuff like that, I've heard stories where it's not going well for them, because
I think it's the school is mostly like the school's not offering this, or it's harder to get services through the schools. That's what I've heard from a lot of people that have kids that I graduated with, and they struggled very hard to
mhm.
keep their services in school, which I find crazy.
Well, we did with Garrett, you know what I mean? We struggled to keep some of his services that I really felt like were important because he's doing well.
Yeah,
And, the part that gets me all the time is, when they lean in and they're like, "But this is a good thing and he's doing really well." And it's like, I'm not saying that he's not doing well, but I don't understand how you take away services for young kids instead of giving them all the services that I could possibly have right now. And then later on, the goal, when they get into their teenage years or they get into their adult years or whatever, then you start taking the services away. But it's almost like you believe that it's not like the seasons aren't going to change, um, that the new challenge isn't going to be around the corner. They're like, oh, he's reading well or he's understanding. That's great in this comprehension, in this set, like this story. But what about next year? What about the next year after that? What about the next year after that? So it's almost like they're unwilling to listen to, let's give everything now and then take away a little bit at a time later on.
Kenneth, military health care is cutting down on autism therapy services due to it being so common and normalized. Yeah, I think I saw something like that. They're saying it's like ADHD and not autism. Like, Garrett was diagnosed with autism and ADHD. And yeah, you can see some of the ADHD in there, but he's definitely autistic. Like, the eye contact, the big thing is the food. Like that boy, I don't think he's ever had a piece of chicken or steak or
I've tried.
like even eggs. We had him eating eggs for a little while and now he won't even do that anymore.
Nope.
So
The best protein I can get him to eat is cheese, peanut butter, cottage cheese, and
cheese.
and I mean
Grilled cheese, like all that
yeah,
is
I mean I do give him like I make his waffles at home. Like I make the fancy, we call them the fancy waffles at home. So I do get some eggs in there. I do get some spinach in there and whatever. Like so I get him in that way, but he won't. No chicken tenders, no.
none of the things that normal kids would like. He's tried pizza before, but
He says he likes it, but it's almost like he likes the taste of it, but he doesn't want to sit and eat an entire piece of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
he won't even do like he barely does. We'll do cupcakes for his birthday or Philip.
no,
No dino nuggets. As
no.
soon as the texture comes into play, he's
Which always cracks me up because cottage cheese is one of the most becoming
he's
textures.
from Wisconsin. I know he might as well be. That's what Colleen does, Joseph. Yeah, there's been a lot of that.
With him, I actually don't do too much protein powder. I try to get as much natural protein as I can in to his system as I can. That's why I put like extra cottage cheese or I put eggs in the batter that I make for the waffles. So I try not to do protein powder with him just yet. I do a powder like probiotic or something for him that I'll just, throw a little bit in there for him, but
it's
oh no, Ken Walters. He likes junk food.
so that's not a bad thing. Him wanting, can't
No,
like
he likes.
so okay. So the ones like Sour Patch Kids. For some reason, he'll eat those, but he doesn't like the chicken tender, the fried part of the chicken or whatever, like the chicken cutlet part. It's weird.
Yep. No, anything sour, all of a sudden now is his thing. He likes the Sour Patch Kids, the sour gummy worms, the trolley. What are they called? Trolleys,
trolleys
or
like
something.
He doesn't get a lot of candy though. We don't really.
No,
he doesn't get a lot of candy.
No, he was spoiled. I mean, this week has been spoiled for him because he just had his birthday last week. So he got, his favorite candy for that. And then the Easter Bunny will give him a little bit of candy. He got to have some candy today, but, I really try to give him.
Almond flour helps.
Yeah. Yep.
That's cool.
So we try.
What did Ken say? You were blessed. You didn't have no food aversions for you guys?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. My boys will eat anything. Man, I wish.
Yeah. Even so we go to our favorite sushi restaurant and he'll down like edamame like crazy.
Yeah.
But trying to get him to try. I mean, when he was a baby, I used to get the miso soup and I would take out the tofu squares.
He would,
the cubes, and he would down those. And now he's like, nah, mommy, I'm good. You know what I mean? So, just trying to. He's obsessed with strawberries right now. Blueberries, he still eats. Bananas, he'll still eat. He tried watermelon. He likes watermelon, but it's not one that he wants to sit and eat. He just downed an entire bowl of strawberries before we came on here.
CrossFit, we sneak Fairlife protein into his diet. Yeah, something we had protein pouches too. I don't know if you remember those. They were a company out of CrossFit.
Fuel for Fire.
Fuel for Fire.
He used to eat those.
He used to eat those too.
Do any of the parents in here, do you guys ever give the like protein shakes for kids? It was like, is it organic something? Not Ovaltine, Marcos, but it's specifically for kids, or like the Pedialytes or anything like, or Pedialytes? No, those are electrolytes. But like any of those protein shakes for kids. Oh, Philip, okay. Yes. Yeah. How do you guys like those? Because I mean, as everything you hear good and bad things or whatever.
Orgain.
That's
what they keep saying.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll have to give that a try.
Yeah, I'll try it because he's starting to like milk, which he'll drink milk. So.
And he's got his little girlfriend now too. So. Kaya.
Oh, we love her.
That's that picture of them together where they're like hugging, walking. I was like, oh my gosh, we're
I
here. We've made
know.
it.
Well, he's such a sweetheart. Like, they went to an egg hunt and there were so many kids and it literally was like 3, 2, 1, go, and they just heard to go. And there were so many kids that you were only supposed to get 15 eggs, but they were telling us, but we couldn't hear them. So some of these kids went out, oh, 42 grams. Okay.
Kroger. Oh, okay. Kroger Carb Master. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll look
Cool.
into those things, guys. So it was like 3, 2, 1, go, and all these kids take off. And again, we couldn't hear the woman said each kid gets 15 eggs. So G has a bucket like this big that's full of eggs. So we're getting ready to go inside for the activities, the coloring, the dance party, the pictures with the Easter Bunny and all that type of stuff. And we see, Kaya's crying and whatever. So G runs right over to her, wraps his arm around her, and it's
She's
like
tiny.
it's
She's
like
a
when
tiny,
we
tiny
go.
little thing.
If you guys go on our Instagram, you can see it. They went inside and they shared eggs, and it was he's a sweetheart. He's too sweet though, because then there was this kid that was
the
there.
kid that tried to fleece him.
There was a kid that was there
Oh.
that was taking his empty eggs and trading them with G, and G didn't realize. And so I was like, bud, you got to pay attention. I was like, you can't let people take your filled eggs and all your treats and just give you empty eggs.
Yeah, poor thing. He got fleeced. Yeah,
I had him. I got him.
Colleen,
I wasn't gonna let some little kid.
Colleen wasn't playing that game.
No, not my baby. You better go find another kid, a different kid, not my baby.
Oh my God, have you guys seen this yet? I'm sorry, this was insane. Just real quick from Draw Your Dad.
It's been a long time. Been a long time coming. It's life or death for me, man. But there's no turning back now. This is what makes me. This is what I am. Feel me?
You can hate me now,
QB.
but I won't stop now. Cause I can't stop now.
Brave heart.
You can hate me now.
Oh my God, that got me hyped. When I played that on my phone, I was hyped up after that. That was amazing. Holy, he does. Yeah, he looks like a Greek god for sure. I was sorry.
It's still that lat.
That man,
Raise your hand if you've already watched it
several times. Holy moly, dude! Like serious man crush right now on this guy. He is so hot. It's
that
insane.
is accurate. CrossFit.
I almost lost a couple of stars watching that shit. That was holy crap.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jeremy, that's a great song.
Right?
That's one of the best. I love that song.
The song with him going up the rope. Ooh, damn.
Dens, I think a lot of men and women
Ooh,
have a crush on JR.
holy mackerel. Pause. You're right, Marco. No, you're right, Marco. Pause. We started to get into this a little bit the other day, and I always like when the chat helps narrow it down. But we were talking about dating.
I know, CrossFit. I know. It sucks.
Philip Kelly, nah, I'm good. No more.
I know. No more Diddy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I know.
Shit. God, that's a good song though.
That's such a good song. But go ahead, honey.
You're right.
We can have our feelings later. It's okay.
All right, it's fine. So much stuff is going away now.
I know.
But we were starting to have this conversation in the chat the other night, and I think CrossFit helped us out a little bit. But when you're like dating in high school, because I saw two kids I know in town, like when I was driving to the laundromat, and I saw two kids that I know in town, and one of them I know is a freshman, and he is a senior, and I was like, I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh crap, they're dating, like they're holding hands. He's got his hand around her waist, like all that. Is that, as long as you're in the same school, that's okay, right? Jerry Meet World, bleep the Diddy part. Yeah, you're right. Senior freshman. Like she's a freshman. I know her parents. He's a senior. I know his parents. And I was thinking about it. Yeah. So like what? Seniors are 17, 8, as long as he's not 18. So he'd have to be a 17-year-old senior Because what's freshman? You're like 14, 15-ish, depending on your birthday?
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
that's a little
I don't remember do you remember that in high school? I only people only dated like a year older or a year younger. I don't remember too many where it
in
was
school, yeah.
yeah, in school.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're saying once he's out of high school and she's still in high school,
Yeah.
that's a no-go. Uh,
Yeah.
nah, fuck that. Diddy songs are fine. Jeez. Um, because then because I always thought like if you're not in the same school, that's not okay. So like yeah, Dents is saying if he is once he's out of high school and she's still in high school, that's not okay.
I think that that's too much of a gap.
Never
In my
never senior and freshman. Yeah, see, I don't. But there's a lot of stories though. Like I had a lot of girls in school that I knew that were dating, like they were like juniors dating outside of high school. Like their boyfriends were like 20, 21, and they were like 16, 17-ish,
mm,
that range. No.
in school? I
I
think that's
I also agree. I don't think so either. I'm with Philip on this one. I don't like the you're a senior and then a freshman.
mhm.
So
Well, that's the bigger question too. Like, is it consent of the state or is it consent of the parent? Well, I guess the parent being okay with it.
age of consent is different depending on the state.
Yeah, because then also Jake said that consent is 16 in the UK, so it's different.
So you could be outside of high school and date a 16-year-old.
Yeah, because that's the age of consent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more what I remember. 17-year-old girls having 21-year-old boyfriends. Yeah, I remember that too, and they'd, like, sneak them into bars and stuff, and it
Yeah.
would yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that a lot.
Yep.
And those were the, like, cool girls because their boyfriends had cars and jobs and
Yeah, but it's all like the
whatever.
fake ID shit too.
Yeah, and they
Like they're
could
getting into, is it do they know? Do they not know? But I mean, I don't know if we talked about this part too, is um actually being truthful as to your age and also the way that girls are dressing. Younger girls are dressing now.
we gotta
You know,
for
they
the
don't, I mean, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds now don't look like when I was 14 years old. Do you know what
no,
I'm saying? So,
definitely not, but you always had those girls. There were always those girls that developed way earlier than, like, most girls develop,
mhm,
and they were always treated as if they were older.
older. Yeah.
So, like, I know for little G, he's gonna be super tall by the time he becomes an 8th grader or freshman.
Mhm.
There are gonna be older girls that like him and
Mhm.
not realize, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Not
CrossFit, what I'm saying is that it's not the, "Well, what is she wearing?" combo. It's more of the, is there truth that's being told of actual age? Like I was saying with, like, the fake IDs and stuff like that, and the girls are able to, um,
yeah, we did a lot of that too.
you know what I
Because you
mean?
could go into the
So
city and get a fake, you could get a fake state ID,
yeah.
or if you had an older sister or something who's
Mhm.
whatever, you could get that and use that, and you would pretend to be older than you
Mhm.
were.
Yeah.
I'm not going into what she would because I don't know, we had there were still short shorts in the 90s. Girls were out in short shorts and tank tops.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed at all. It's the same thing.
Mhm.
Those same girls work at those bars. I just I wanted to go to Joseph. He said 18 is considered a legal adult. Yeah, how is 18 a legal adult, but at the same time you can consent to sex at 16 and you're not considered a legal adult? But sex is the most adult action you can take. I don't know. That's just food for thought. But there's a lot of shady shit that was happening. And I just thought about that. I was like, if I'm the mom of that freshman girl,
Mhm.
I'm gonna feel a type of way about it. So
Yeah.
nothing. You never had that in school?
What?
Like any stories from those girls? any stories from girls like that? Like, did
I
you
mean, there were a
your
couple
friends?
girls. There were a couple girls that we knew that would date everybody. You know what I mean? A couple years older, a couple years younger. Like it didn't, and they were sleeping together, and everybody knew it. And so there were girls that were in my school that would. You know what I mean? But I mean, I hung out with people older than me outside of school, so it's wasn't in my school, but
But you got to run around a little bit more. You kinda had no supervision at all. Like,
mm-mm.
how old were you when your parents divorced? I forget.
They separated when I was 16. I think is when they finally split because we left our house. We moved into a different. I moved into an apartment with my mother.
Were you cool about that?
What, them separating?
Yeah. Or was it like, "Oh, man,"
Um.
or was the house, like, happier after they separated?
Well, I don't remember a time like we're a couple. Like we all lived under the same roof, but I don't remember a time that they would like, go to dinner together or go like they weren't having a relationship. They were just living. Oh, Jeremy, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, shoot, you can't pull up comments.
No, I
Sorry.
can. No, I can. Total wild child
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think in the moment I was surprised that they broke up or that they separated or whatever. Um, because I was much closer to my dad. Like I always had
Yeah.
a relationship with my dad. And I was angry with the fact that he wasn't living with us anymore, but I still was with him all the time. He would pick me up in the morning, bring me to school, pick me up after school. Like I would still go spend all the time that I wanted to with him. If I wanted to go anywhere, he was mostly the one that picked me up. My mother was at work all the time. So I would ask, hey dad, come get me, whatever. And so I was mad that they split up because he wasn't in the house anymore. But the older I have gotten, I realize how unhealthy the environment was and kind of wish that my mom
Would have left earlier.
might have left him earlier. Yeah. So, but then when I moved in when it was just my mom, um, she was working all the time. So I didn't have supervision. I didn't have rules. Like I was sneaking out. I lived with my middle brother, and he had his friends over all the time partying. Like there really wasn't.
Yeah, and your brother's older than you too, so you got, like, older teenage dudes running around.
Yeah, but what I will say, I never ran around in that crowd. Like when my brother and his friends were home, I did everything I could to get out of the house. Like I didn't like to be home with him and his friends. I wasn't that sister that was like hanging out with all of her brother's friends. I was hanging out with my own. Um, well, at that time, I wasn't. There was a group that I used to hang out with all the time, and they were much older than me because my mother used to have a babysitting
Yeah, yeah,
company,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I met a girl from just my mother taking care of her and babysitting her while her mom was at work. And so then we became really close. And so I would I really started hanging out with her and her crew. They lived in a neighboring town, like a 30-minute drive
Right.
away. And so
Oh,
I would
Trish,
hang out
what's
with
up,
them all the
Trish?
time.
What's up?
And then when I moved into the new apartment with my mother, I moved away from my cousins. So I would still hang out with my cousins who were older than me, but not as much as I was when I was in my childhood home. So yeah, a lot of things changed, but I was hanging around in the crowd of older people, older kids.
Dense, yes. Yes, girl, me too. Yeah,
I have never.
and I also have never recovered from that either. But our rooms shared a wall. Right? So my mom's room and my room shared a wall. So when she was having boyfriends before she got remarried, yeah, there's not too much that you don't hear. It was oof,
CrossFit, yes.
cross fat. Any of those brothers, friends, hell us?
Yep, absolutely. But that's why I just kept my distance and got out as fast as I could. So I didn't like being home with my brother. My brother and I didn't have a great relationship when we were growing up. There was a lot of shit that went on. There was a lot of turmoil and trauma and all this type of stuff, and it was very difficult to be home with my brother when we were younger. We have since developed a friendship, being adults and both being married and both having kids and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But when we were younger, I hated being around him. He was an asshole.
Well, and you were tall too.
Yeah.
You were super tall
Mhm.
very early on.
I was my full height probably at 14,
Yes.
and I'm 5'11".
So older guys must have thought that you were older all the time.
Yep.
That's how it was for me. Everybody thought I was older than I was.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, too, I was hanging out in a group where like I looked, that's I guess kind of to go back to what Crossett was saying about like the whole not sure about the what is she wearing kind of thing conversation. But I also was this height at 14, 13, 14. Yeah, maybe even younger, 12, 13, maybe. And I was hanging around with a bunch of people that were older than me, and I fit right in. And
Any scary nights out?
oh yeah,
There's
Mhm.
going to college parties. Do you remember? Did you ever go to actual dorm parties? Because
Yeah.
we had Southampton College like right up the street for us, so you could go hang out in the dorms if you had friends or you had a way in or whatever.
I was in college parties when I was 16.
Yeah, doesn't so because you had access to like the kegs. They had the kegs. They had all the
Well,
and
I never did the kegs or anything like that. We did the just the regular cans of beer or liquor. We went hard.
damn.
Yeah.
We were just doing keg stands. There
No.
was not.
Nope. We weren't doing those.
It's wild how everyone matures at such different rates. I mean, there were girls in my school you that you couldn't even tell. They hadn't developed at all.
Mhm.
And then there was like what I had.
Yeah, beer pong. Yeah,
Oh
Philip.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, definitely beer pong.
The solo cups,
The solo cups. Yep, that was a big one.
keg stands.
Yeah, it was more like beer pong for us, not keg stands, or just drinking mixed drinks all night, or taking shots, or you know what I mean. So
Who would get it? It was always a older, there's always an older sibling that got it for us.
mhm.
But my mom did sometimes. Like she would let us throw a party in the house. She would get beer and just be like, "All right, hang out."
Yeah.
So
I mean, my older cousins always were partying. I wasn't that one that would just go and take shit from them while they were partying and drinking and stuff like that. Um, but I did do that when I was hanging out with my group of friends that I was. And it was like parents, it was, members of the group because they were old enough to go buy their own, or somebody that they knew was old enough to buy their own. So then
yeah,
eventually it would get to where we were, and yeah, I was drinking.
my first beer at 12 was a Red Dog. Damn.
Think my first drink was that I can remember was the Smirnoff Ice.
Oh, Jesus. Jake Chapman was a.
Oh.
Whenever Colleen drinks from her huge green flask, it reminds me of Saw 3D.
Yeah, Marco, me too. Me too. I was the baby of the group.
I never those parties for me were never sketch, but those college parties were sketch for some of my friends for sure.
Mhm.
I remember that. I remember those stories. I remember a friend of mine that I had to like I brought home. Like she never talked about it. She didn't want to say anything. She just wanted me to bring her home. I brought her home and it was like the first time I was ever allowed to drive on. You know how you have those like juniors licenses?
Yeah.
I was always allowed to drive on that. No, my grandparents never minded. And so we went to a party and yeah, she like left for a while and then came back and you could just see it on her face that she just wanted to roll home. And I was like, I know what that face means. So
Yep.
and she never talked about it. She just went. I don't think she ever told her parents either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because well, first of all, you're not supposed to be there.
right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, how can you really talk about it? The house party that I ended up at, I don't remember who was friends of my friend group that got us there to this house. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to be there, and you're not supposed to be drinking, and then stuff happens, and then for most people, you don't even realize that anything happened. You know what I mean? And or it's like you wake up the next day and it's like, wait, I think something happened, but I'm not sure because I was so fucked up, and you know what I mean? So it's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it like doesn't feel real for a long time. And so when you try to talk about it and you try to process it and then you think about all of the details, I guess you can say, like the situation, the scenario, the people that were there, what happened, do you remember this? Is this real? Is this not real? Um, it's tough to talk about. It's tough to realize that it's real and that something happened, and then what do you do with that after?
Yeah.
You know, do you talk about it? Do you report it? Is it too late? Is it worth it? Um, who's gonna believe you?
All that shit.
All of that shit. So yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Kids now will never know the sketchy danger of meeting a weirdo to buy weed. Yeah, there was because we used to have payphones, so
Yeah.
everybody was out on payphones waiting for the next pager beep to go off, and like then you would go hop into some weird sketchy car. I didn't do weed though. That wasn't really out here.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you had to be able to drive to get weed if you were from out here.
I would get it if I wanted it that bad. I would get it from my brother or my friends. One of my friend groups, like they all smoked, so they all wanted me to smoke, and I would always say, you don't want to waste it because I was a cheap high. I would get high, fall asleep on the couch, and then wake up 20 minutes later and I'm not high anymore. And they're all spinning around, looking around
Yeah,
and whatever. And I just was like, it's gonna knock me out for a solid 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up and want to eat something, and then that's pretty much the extent of it. So
Watching my sister roll though,
yeah.
I mean, she is a pro. She does that shit one-handed, and I'm like, damn. Jonathan Ortega, I didn't do crazy stuff in high school. I didn't really do crazy stuff in high school either. It wasn't till my 20s
Mm-mm.
once I actually got out of my house. Then I did crazy shit
Nope, all of my bullshit happened
in high school.
in high school. Yep. Yep. Very young. Very young.
What else we got? Southampton's in full swing now. All of the Teslas and BMWs and everything are rolling around town, and the
Mhm.
Cybertrucks.
Mhm.
Are we still talking about it? Old English? Damn.
Weed butter?
What is weed butter?
Yeah, Ortega, what's weed butter? I guess you make it with the same way you make cookies. You put
I did weed butter on my toast. That's it. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Well, I guess you can put weed in anything, right?
Mhm.
But I've seen. You see all those shows where people like eat brownies and they're not.
That's what I'm saying. It must be the same.
What else? Anybody watching the Luigi? I made the really bad mistake of going into the comments of one of the Luigi posts, Mangione, the
Mhm.
dude that shot the CEO.
Mhm.
And man, those comments are awful. They're fucking awful.
I haven't seen them.
Even the ones with the Carmelo kid, the shooting or the stabbing in Texas or whatever,
Mhm.
their comments are just so bad. They're just saying that he got what he deserved. He was bullying Carmelo, so he got what he deserved. And I'm like, damn, death. That's what he deserves. Like, that's tough, bro. We used to get in fights in high school at basketball games. I can remember going to freaking Wyandanch and they cut up our bus. Like they took razor blades to our bus
Oh, geez.
and whatever as like a troll or whatnot.
Mhm.
No one got hurt to the point. There was a couple black eyes and some fat lips. That was it.
Yeah.
Not to the point of freaking death. Like that's insane.
That is.
I
Yeah.
and even the Luigi one where it's like, nah, free him. He shot somebody. But I guess here we are. We're completely desensitized to this now too.
Yeah, I think so. I
Humans
think
suck.
so.
Oh yeah, for CrossFit. I can remember hockey dads beating each other. Oh really? To death? I don't ever remember that. Can remember some crazy fights at some football games that I went to, or like after a basketball game or something, but not to the point. It was just a ruckus melee of kids, and then it was over, and everybody went home. I don't remember that at all.
Mhm.
But and the fact that they're even saying like he didn't just stab someone.
Well, aren't they being accused of taking all of the funds that were put together from the GoFundMe?
I've
Aren't
seen
they
I've seen
getting
conflicting things about that. I don't know if they've used it or not.
yeah, aren't they, like, getting accused of using it for buying, like, a $500,000 house or something like that, something crazy like that with it?
I I've seen it, but then I've also seen they haven't touched any of it, and no money has been released from the GoFundMe. I've seen that too, so I don't know what's
Mhm.
up over there. I feel bad. It's bad all the way around. They're making it such a race war, and it's like, it's two kids that now their lives are literally changed forever. Two families that their lives are
Mm.
now literally changed forever. But we're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. It's like, what?
Yeah.
We're just talking about these 2 kids and how sad it is that nothing is ever gonna be the same for them ever again, and they're so young, and this is something that they can't ever take back.
Yeah.
It's just absolute craziness.
I'm just so sad for that. That just doesn't it just doesn't make sense.
Nah. Yeah, pushing the
Yep.
narrative to hate each other, and everybody's falling for it again, and everybody's doing it. It's like,
And everybody's apologizing for stuff that, like, it's not yeah, CrossFit, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, it's way worse.
Mhm.
And that kid'll always know that he killed somebody, and the other kid is dead and will never have a chance to live a life, but we're talking about, "Hey, let's talk about race." Like, what?
Well, we've talked about this before or whatever, that I just don't think that these kids realize that when your life is over, your life is
Yeah,
over.
you can't you're never gonna be able to take that back.
There's no restart. There's no get another life. Then you know what I'm saying? It's not a video game. It's not like this is real life. And
Yeah,
I don't know if these kids know that or are aware of that because once it's gone, it's gone. And
yeah,
to sit and like you said, now he's going to remember for the rest of his life that he killed somebody.
yeah,
Over over what? Now fine, we don't know all the details. We've heard stories about it was bullying, it was this, it was that, and whatever. But like but you hear the same narrative when it comes to school shooters too.
yeah,
That it's from bullying and it's from this and it's from that. And to like these kids are going from being bullied to turning around and going and hurting people and
yeah,
killing people.
that's what I'm saying, like,
And
when did we get here?
yeah,
When it was like,
shouldn't that be the bigger conversation? Like that we are not able to teach our children
or
like
impulse control. Like,
right.
where's the impulse control? Oh, what's up, babe?
Um,
Oh,
why is it out of battery? What didn't we do? Is that other door closed so the dogs don't go downstairs?
yeah,
All right, you're gonna have to charge it, bud. Okay. All right.
you know, horrible. But yeah, the impulse control part is just like someone calls you a horrible name, so you're gonna go off on them. It's like the lady that punched the reporter in the face,
Oh my
or like what,
gosh.
you know what I mean? Holy Jeremy, everything, all of it, every bit of society's decline can be traced back to one thing: shitty parenting. Okay, yeah. Uh, I just, how are you teaching your kid that if you get disrespected, it's okay for you to plunge a knife into their chest? That
Well, there was someone that was like, and I'll try to find him, but it's like not everything is offensive. Not everything is a trigger. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
there's let me see if I can find him because he's so good. But
Jake, is there anything quite like your dildo running out of juice halfway through?
oh my gosh.
never had that happen. So
Go ahead, baby.
Joseph, I was bullied as a kid, never wanted to shoot anyone. Yeah, I mean, I did. Because I was the tall kid and probably the fat kid. So yeah, I got
Oh, it's
until
this
I got to high
guy.
school, I was made fun of all the time. Never once thought about getting in a fight. Not yeah, high school. I think I got in my first little scuffle in high school, and I don't even know if you wanna call it that. It wasn't even a real fight. But just anything now, like, it's almost like you're saying it's okay for violence if anybody hurts your feelings.
Mhm.
It's like, it's not okay for violence. I don't know who the CEO guy was. He might have been a horrible dude. He might have had horrible policies. He might have had whatever, but it didn't warrant getting tracked down and shot like
Nope.
a dog in the street. I mean, come on.
I'm trying to find it. I
That's
can't
alright.
find it, but
Bullying is one of those words the victim gets to define it however they wish. Yeah, man. It's just yeah, I had to get off Instagram. I had to stay out of the comments. I couldn't watch it anymore because the racism in those comments are ridiculous. Everything's like, yeah, but if that was a white guy, or yeah, but if that was a black guy, and it's like, oh my god, I'm so tired of that shit.
mhm.
Like, it's a dude that shot another dude. Like, go to jail.
Yeah.
Sorry. The original Steve Miller. It seems what is true is that the CEO was so cheap he did not even have bodyguards. What do you think that does to the other CEOs? Are there other CEOs walking around right now like, yo, I need to go get bodyguards and I can't go out in the early morning? Or do you think they're freaking out? Are they getting
Probably.
doxxed? Are all these CEOs getting doxxed and now people are going to know who they are and they're going to have to, if I could have female hair, I'd choose Colleen's.
What?
Jeremy, if I could have female hair, I'd choose Colleen's.
Damn, I can't find it. It's so good.
It's
I'll
all
have
good.
to find it next
Let's laugh at
time.
this real quick since we jiu-jitsu. This
Yeah.
had me dying. We got all the just all been shit that's going on all weekend, and I just can't get rid of it. Okay.
Yeah, I can't find it. It's so good though.
This is just funny. I'm not trying to make fun. Well, this is just funny.
Are you not trying to make fun
I
of somebody?
like this is what is this? They can't really be serious with this. Monkey Business Broadcasting put this up. This can't be an actual dojo, right?
Could be.
Seriously? Oh my god, the dojo I trained at would look at this and just be like, "What the fuck?" and just start laughing. They're like, "There's no way." They're rolling around on colored mats.
That flooring is
And
repulsive.
yeah. She's already out of breath. Yeah, I would have put the sound on, but it's so annoying. The music is so annoying that I didn't wanna do it. But yeah, and they're just throwing themselves around. It's not even like, yeah, you can have an uke that helps you when you're doing competition, but that was just dumb as shit. I've never seen anything quite that dumb before, but it was amazing.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, hold on. I found it. It was really bothering me. I really wanted to
Oh,
find
take a
it.
surprisingly good movie. Which one?
This guy is great.
Minecraft?
This guy
Oh.
is. I mean, she reshared it, but this guy is fantastic.
The therapist, you need to stop acting like life is a medical condition. Bad days aren't trauma, and feeling lost isn't a disorder. And not getting your way, that's not oppression, that's Tuesday. People have started diagnosing normal struggles like they're psychological crisis, when in reality, life comes with stress, setbacks, and uncertainty. That's not dysfunction, that's just being alive. Therapy has its place, but so does resilience. At some point, you have to stop overanalyzing every inconvenience and start handling things like a functional adult. Because resilience isn't outdated, it's just rebranded as toxic positivity. You don't need a therapist, you need.
Yeah, that's good.
Not like exactly what we were talking about, but so good.
Anyone see Shane Gillis's take on why Chipotle is ruined? No, why is Chipotle ruined?
Oh, who ruined Chipotle now?
That sucks. No, I haven't seen Minecraft. Did any of you guys play Minecraft? I never played it. That was after me. I wasn't
I still can't snatch 185. I need a therapist.
Oh wait, here. This is fucking amazing. This is this is the new version of a lat pull down. So for everybody that wants to get their lats like JR's, here's the new version of this. The dumbbell lat pull down.
I don't even know where to start, honestly.
So shoulder press, right?
Yes.
That's a shoulder press.
Yes.
Are you gonna? And she's a trainer too, and she like incorporates that into people's workouts. So she says dumbbell lat pull down for your back. That's awesome.
Great.
Sorry.
That's great.
And then I have a bunch of things from Jake's mind that he sent me, but I'll wait for that one.
Jake's mind.
Yeah. Other than that, I was just anybody want to test the link? Like anybody want a link? I'll send out a link real quick. I wanted to test that too. We're just trying to figure stuff out on this go around so that we can have people on with us, and hopefully we got to find out how Ellie Hiller is.
Mm-hmm.
Because she just had her baby shower, but she's about to pop soon.
She's still doing crazy things.
Yeah, she is.
Upside down and
Yep.
Crazy.
But yeah, just send it to Jeremy before he calls in. Okay. Is he still in here?
Of course he is.
All right, let's try it. I just want to make sure that all this stuff.
Joseph says send it to him.
Oh, are you?
Joseph, you gotta send an email.
Can you DM me? DM my Instagram with your email, and I'll send it to you. What's your? Oh. Bam. All right, Jeremy, if you're there, I want to see how this works when someone else, because he's got different layouts on here that I don't know anything about.
He better have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I don't want to bother everyone. No, come bother us. It's fine. You can answer the black enough question. Because didn't you say you're only black enough when you're in bed or something like that?
He did.
He did say that.
He did say that. Yes, he did.
Who's the other one? Joseph?
Joseph, yeah.
Yeah, if you send one out, I'll try it. We'll give it a crack at it. What did you do to Heidi? Heidi was great. Heidi fixed Jan's microphone last night. Jeremy's. What else do we do, babe? As we wrap up this little test. Go around. Oh, there he is.
Never fails.
Oh, good. Let's see. Oh, good. It just pops up just like that. No volume though.
Good?
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me? Wait a second. Oh, I still have I'm sorry. Hold on. I had the pod playing still. My bad. My bad. What's up, ladies?
What's going on? We missed you last night too.
I'm just so burnt, Kenneth.
You don't look that bad.
No,
real.
it's bad.
I bet it feels bad. I've never been. Want to say hi to my 12-year-old? Come here.
No.
Come here. Say hi.
What's up?
No,
Yeah.
They don't want to hang out.
That's not cool.
TEI, I guess.
My shoulders are even worse. But
Yeah,
I
her
am
back's
very,
terrible.
very sunburned right now.
She forgot she was ginger, and then just.
I didn't forget I was ginger.
I spent a whole summer years ago, 20 years ago, doing construction. We built houses and stuff and worked outside all summer. By August, September, that was the closest I've ever gotten to being sunburned. It was a little tender, you know what I'm saying? A little tender, but I've never gotten that. Never. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry you got to deal with that.
Jeremy looks great clothed. I don't know how we got into that one podcast, but that was incredible. Damn, black people don't work. Damn. Here we go.
Black people don't work? Who said
Yeah. Philip Kelly.
PK.
PK.
What about Mexicans? Philip is Mexican. What do they do? They work too much.
Where's Ortega? Where's Ortega for this?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a police sketch with the hat and the hood. Yeah, I just kind of want to set this up. We didn't know what we wanted to do. We definitely want to one day we want to be able to get a couple of guests on here that we would normally have on our own show, but and just hang out and whatever. And I just wanted to see what 5 o'clock looks like for everybody. And he's got so much stuff in the background. I had to I guess we have to make our own backgrounds so that we
Oh,
can.
you got control of the whole StreamYard
Yeah.
thing
So
for him?
yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
can't help her with shit except for pulling up a comment. How much does Garrett talk during a scary movie?
I don't.
We don't watch scary
Oh, are you
movies.
talking about me or the little one?
You.
He doesn't. Oh, me? Nothing. I usually watch them from behind my hands.
You don't seem like a talker during movie. You don't seem like a movie talker, Garrett, at all.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
She'll talk to me. She'll tell me about her whole day while I'm watching 1923, and I'm trying to concentrate.
Like, oh, that's great. After like a good part of the show, and she's telling you something terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, wait, what did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
like, did you?
pause.
Or I'll tell her stuff that's coming in our schedule. She's like, you never told me that. I'm like, I did. I told you this day. And she's like, well, I was watching my movie, so I didn't hear that. So I
didn't-
stopped telling her shit during movies.
No, I don't. I'm your typical guy when it comes to that.
You guys have Paramount Plus? I think it's on Paramount Plus or something like that.
Yeah, but I can't get Yellowstone though, because they put Yellowstone back on Peacock. So I've seen everything else, but I haven't seen Yellowstone yet.
Like any of Yellowstone or the newest of Yellowstone?
Any of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just got into I did 1825, and I just got into and I just finished the one with Harrison Ford. Was that 1923?
The 1920
really
one.
good.
That's the only one I haven't caught. I think but that dude Yellowstone, holy crap,
So
that's
good.
it's as good as people say it is. Especially if you is Jenny Yellowstone ending was so good? Is she referring to how many seasons? Like five seasons? I think there's a newest season. I haven't seen that one, so I'm almost on.
Yeah, Vikings is amazing.
Vikings is dope.
We've watched that so many times.
I've watched that a million times. Yeah.
Have you seen the spin-off ones? I think it's still called Vikings or whatever.
Yeah. Like Vikings Valhalla.
Yeah. His son, that actor's dope. He's really cool.
Yeah.
He does a good job. I was gonna say on Paramount Plus, there's Mobland. If you guys are into Guy Ritchie movies, Snatch and Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Heck, he even did the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. That was Guy Ritchie too.
Mob Life is great. Is that the one you're talking
Mobland?
about?
With Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan. And
yeah, that one. Yeah, that's
you have watched it.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah. And I think Jake Chapman, he's the star of the show, the guy that's the star of the show that just runs around and cleans everything up for everybody. That being Jake.
Yeah, 100%. As soon as the first episode and Tom Hardy's doing his thing, I'm like, that's Jake Chapman right there.
Yeah,
that's totally Jake. That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, cool. I wasn't gonna stay on long. I just really wanted to test it and see what we were gonna do with it. And I know it's Easter. Everybody's got what is that? Blaxican? Jeremy Jeremy looks more Mexican than Blaxican.
Man, my whole life I've either gotten, I think you were talking about it before, I've gotten Puerto Rican, but the thing I get the most is some sort of Haitian, like you look Haitian and whatever. And people straight up come up to me, and I mean, I've been with my kids at the park, and people will come up and just start speaking Spanish. And I'm like, no comprendo.
My buddy,
un poco.
My buddy that hangs out with us here, somebody said to him, "Oh my God, your American accent is so good." He's like, "I've only ever lived here. Like, I don't."
That was funny.
It was so
that
great.
Was really
He's
funny.
like, "I've never lived anywhere else."
You're English. Man, people are wild, dude. That's hilarious.
It was a good time. Holy crap. Anyway,
you guys watching WrestleMania?
I really want to. That we talked about wrestling all night last night.
We did.
Yeah, you got me. My 8-year-old, she just turned 8 on Wednesday. I mean, I think I talked about it like a year ago. She just got in it. I didn't pressure her. I wasn't like, hey, check out this. And so one day I just hear like yelling and loud noise. I hear like the old dude's name, JR. Was he the announcer? It was just all, and like she's in a different room, and I walk back, and I'm like, and I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at the TV, and she's watching like Stone Cold clips and all, and I'm like, how did this happen? You know, they're like, I'm not mad about it, but like
I was
she
gonna
is
say, but you're not really mad about it
not at
because
all, not at all. It's
Yep.
pretty cool to kind of like reacquaint myself with the modern WWE. It's so much different now, but it's still cool. You know, you still got some of the same guys, some cool storylines, but like she cannot stop. I have her folding laundry right now to earn her WrestleMania since it's
Oh, cool.
today and tomorrow. So she cannot stop talking about it. She's so excited.
No, I'm still.
What song? Gary and I were talking about this the other day. What song, like entrance, hit the hardest? Like, what's the one entrance that you like? That was the one, that the best one.
It's hard to pick one. I'll say the two that really got me was we talked about Goldberg yesterday.
Yeah.
And just because it was so involved, you know, you got him like slamming his head into the wall or busting down the door, and then he comes out and there's like a security around him. Like that was really dope. If I couldn't pick him, you gotta go Stone Cold.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
that glass breaking and like him
Yes.
coming out, I'm like, oh my god, there's beers
Yeah.
everywhere. I'm like, dude, Stone Cold, yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior and Taker. But the
Mhm.
Ultimate
Taker's
Taker's
that,
entrance
yeah.
was when you
Stone
just
For
Cold
like
entrance,
very
yeah.
different reasons too, right?
Yeah.
Like Ultimate Warrior just run to the ring. He was crazy. And man, you know that I don't know, whenever he died, let's say 10 years ago, the day before he was at like a WWE event speaking, you know, his typical Ultimate Warrior type of stuff. And then the next day his heart exploded in this hotel.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. That's
Mhm.
nuts. But yeah, Taker's like just hearing that bell and all the lights
Yep.
go down and man,
Yep.
can't beat that old school WWF. Love it.
Hulk Hogan though, he was like the only superstar though for the longest time. He was like the only actual legit superstar. Oh, here we go. All right, fine. Let's go down memory lane again. I'm good with this. I don't know any of the new ones, like the new age. I stopped it around the time that like Cena. After Cena was done, I was pretty much.
Yeah, Margot.
You know, it's funny.
Pretty good too.
He's the main event of WrestleMania tomorrow. So it's 2 days. They've been doing that for whatever. He's on his farewell tour, right?
Cool.
So like he's going, you know, whatever city. It's the last John Cena thing, right? I don't remember what event it was. It might have been like a Royal Rumble or Monday Night Raw or whatever. He came out with Cody Rhodes, who is the current champion, who's Dusty Rhodes' son. The Rock is like, they call him the final boss. So The Rock is there. He's telling Cody Rhodes that if he sells his soul to him or whatever, he'll make him famous and rich and all this stuff, right? So John Cena is in the ring too. And he's like Cody Rhodes tells The Rock, go F yourself, whatever. John Cena's like, oh, he hugs him. And then all of a sudden you see The Rock and John Cena make eye contact, and The Rock does this like
I
this.
saw the clips of
And
that.
you saw that, and John Cena turned heel, and he's never done that in like 25, 30 years. And so anyways, they're fighting for the title tomorrow. But it's supposed to be his last match ever. You know how they always say the last match ever, but it's John Cena's supposed to be done.
They're contemplating whether he's just gonna win it, and they're gonna like Triple H was talking about this. They don't know whether he's gonna win it and then have him just retire as the heel with the belt, and then have him just retire so that no one ever wins. Like he can always just be like, well, no one really has the belt because no one beat me.
Yeah.
I was like, if they do that storyline, that would be insane.
That would be wild. That would be wild. It's gonna be cool. It's like all the wrestlers now, to your point before, it's usually someone's son. Like there's the Uso brothers, there's Rakishi's sons, if you remember Rikishi, and then Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton still kind of hanging around from time to time. It ain't what it used to be, but it's entertaining, especially you watch it.
PK, how'd you feel when Hogan went heel? How did that when Hogan went, you know,
NWO?
NWO. That was what else?
That was wild.
It's Mankind versus Taker, Hell in a Cell, greatest match of all time. Yeah, I'll give you that.
That was so good.
That was really, really good.
That was so good.
If not the greatest match, definitely the greatest moment when he threw him off. That wasn't even planned. He was like, throw me off the top of this cage. That's wild.
Why do you guys keep trying to tell me China was hot? China was not hot at all. The girls now are hot. Like China was not hot. She was just what was she, the 9th wonder of the world or whatever they called her, the 8th wonder of the
8th.
world, some shit.
Yeah.
She was just a big chick.
I mean, they did their best to make, because if you remember when she first came out, she had that steroid big ass chin, and like, you know, she was big, you know, and then they did a decent enough job through surgeries and all that to make her better looking. But I don't know if I would ever say China was hot, you know, like she wasn't as ugly as she entered the WWE. I'll say that.
She did a lot of steroids. Like her and
Oh
Triple H
God.
did a lot of steroids.
Yeah.
Man.
Surprised some of those people are still alive with all the steroids they did.
If Jake thinks China's hot, I no longer do. I could talk about wrestling forever.
Well, thinking back to like the Attitude Era with all of the what now we would look at as like inappropriate being parents. We're like, oh, I don't know if my kids should watch that. I don't know if they should see that and whatever. Do you think that as a parent you would still let your kid watch the Attitude Era? Because I can't speak now because I
Same.
haven't watched wrestling in a
She
very,
was
very
very
long
hot.
time.
She still is very hot.
Yeah,
Stephanie McMahon.
Yep.
Yeah.
But just thinking back, I mean, I grew up obviously watching it and stuff like that. But
Well,
would
the
you?
Stephanie McMahon where they like drugged her and then she married Triple H. Remember that? Like
But
he
not
Right,
even
yeah.
yeah, like that,
Yeah.
and then all the sexual scenes that like
Yeah.
were, you know what I'm saying, and then the buried alive ones.
Yeah.
Like all of that, you know what I mean? Like all that. Like, would you allow your kids to watch the Attitude Era?
It would be a lot of like I see two things happening. One, hey, look away. Don't watch this part. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember might have been the first time I ever saw boobs on TV was a pay-per-view WWF way back in the day. I don't remember the chick's name, but they were doing like a mud wrestling or like a KY jelly wrestling match or whatever. And the match ends, she wins, she stands up and just full poop, you know, WWF just tits everywhere. And I was just like, whoa, you know, I was like 10 years old, like, wow. Anyways, it would be a lot of like, probably look away at this part. But then after, or maybe even during, would just be like a lot of explaining, like, hey, I know this looks cool, but this is not something we do, or you know what I'm saying? Just like kind of explaining it so that they're not like, oh, well, Dad thinks this is okay. You could watch something, depending on what it is, that's not appropriate, but still explain like that ain't right, or we don't do that, or whatever. I think it could be a good learning experience, but it just depends. Like you said, back in those days, man, that between Suck It and just it was crazy. Every single week, I'm like, dang, this is
We
nuts.
did that. We
I was
were all
saying
running
all the
around like
kids
that.
running
Like,
around
yeah,
and
man.
whatever.
Everybody was doing Suck It, yeah.
Who said Miss Elizabeth was hot? She was hot. Macho Man's
Yeah.
lady.
Oh
Matt
yeah,
Men's.
yeah.
Oh,
She
no,
was.
I didn't see. Yeah, she was hot, and I didn't see any of China's nudes. If there were nudes out there, China, I didn't
Oh
see
yeah,
them.
she was in Playboy. She was in
Oh,
Playboy.
was she really?
And that's what I mean by like they did a decent enough job that if you just appreciate the female figure, you look at it like, oh, okay, yeah. But like again, it's like you know how much I got to do to make in Playboy. They all this makeup, these perfect angles and stuff like that. But yeah, it's worth checking out. I say that. Sad story though with her, man. Her life.
Yeah,
I doubt you're not the only one.
Yeah,
I doubt you're the only one.
And Megan, you're right. That was like a big. I got to stay up late and watch WrestleMania and SummerSlam.
Oh yeah,
and all. So with my grandfather,
for all of that shit.
he always got that. He loved that
for sure.
That was his favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the if you had to vote, if you each had to vote most attractive? Actually, you know what? I think you were talking about it. You said Lita, Colleen, like most
Lita.
attractive diva of all time. Lita.
Yep.
She's in my top 3 for sure. She had that. Not only was she hot, but she was badass, and I was like, yes, I like her.
Well, like I said, when I was younger, I liked her because I wanted to be her, and then now looking back at it, I'm like, no, I just thought she was hot.
No way that happened.
That is true too. That is true. They did a sex tape. Yeah, that's very true. And she got into porn. That she was doing mad porn towards the end of her life. Mad porn.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
damn, dude.
We watched her documentary and I don't remember them saying anything about that.
All right, well, now we're gonna have to go back and watch. We saw the one
Yeah,
from
you gotta
A&E
check out.
that did it.
Or maybe that's
Damn.
why A&E, yeah.
Ooh. All right,
Yes.
China. That's tough. I'm
That's a
sorry.
lot. What about you, Garrett? Who you got? We got Lita.
Yeah,
Who's
I'm
your,
Lita. I like Lita. I
Lita?
mean, Trish is hot, but Lita was just, I don't know. It was just her energy, her like she was in the fishnets. Linda McMahon was top of my list. Stop.
Takes into those old school teacher, principal chicks.
All right, we did sexiest women. All right, chat. Sexiest man.
Yeah, now you gotta do the hottest dude.
Who's the hottest dude in wrestling?
That's gonna be tough for y'all, huh? Who's May? I
is
don't know. Desperate Times.
Val Venus.
Wow.
I don't know why. Just because he always come out in the towel and stuff. So I mean, it's like
Edge.
Edge. Okay.
Edge was the hottest dude that there was.
Okay. Homeboy's still at it. He's in like, what is it called? AEW, I believe it's called. I think he's still at it. He's still wrestling.
Rick Rude. Oh, damn. Yeah, he was the sex symbol of the. Yeah.
CrossFit, you are correct.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going back.
What was that dude? Test? Wasn't there a dude named Test? He had like long hair. He teamed up with Edge.
Yep.
Meg, I think Shawn Michaels is good looking, but I could never get over that mullet. I'm an anti-mullet girl. So when his hair was super long and a mullet, I could not.
I
could not.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah, he was. I still think Edge is hotter. But Ric Flair, you're lying. You don't mean that.
Ah, man.
You don't mean that.
Young Ric Flair, Ken. Young Ric Flair.
Young Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Ric
Homeboy would get out there, his body just.
Yeah,
is he still hanging in there?
Yeah, he is. My man is hanging in there. His daughter's still like, I don't know if she's wrestling anymore, but she's commentating or whatever. And
so. Charlotte. Yeah, she is. That's one of my daughter's favorites. She wrestles either today or tomorrow. She's fighting for a title, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she's still at it. Gold. Oh my God!
You're right.
What a crazy character, right? Goldust. He just be all. He was bizarre.
That was gay. That was so gay.
Right. I mean, it was like
it was gay.
I think everything about him screamed gay, but it was like you could never tell. You can never tell. That's Cody Rhodes' brother. That's Dusty Rhodes' son too.
Goldust is?
Goldust is. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He fell far from the tree.
Not gay, androgynous. All right, that's fair. I'll take that. I mean, that was weird. That was weird.
I think someone said it earlier, as far as like underrated, did the craziest shit was Shane McMahon. Dude would do just the craziest stuff.
Yep. His dad threw him off of everything. He got tossed off cages. His dad fucked him up.
He was wild.
And he didn't even get the company. Like, he didn't even
get the company. Right. Now Triple H has it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Does he have
that match?
Or is he just creative?
That's a great question. I imagine it's a collaboration, like Shane. This is how I picture it. It'd be like Triple H, The Rock, Shane McMahon, and a couple others probably run the thing, to some extent. You know what I'm saying?
Holy. Which one do I need to watch? You need to watch the doc. They talk about all. Are you talking about China? Yeah, I guess I should go back and watch that.
Or are they talking about the Vince McMahon doc?
That doc, the Netflix one, that was crazy. I almost thought they were going to set him up. They put out a lot of rumors from that documentary that didn't look too great.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't even know if any of that stuff has been resolved yet.
I don't think so. I think they're still going, because isn't he trying to get it back? I think he's trying to get it back.
Yeah.
Come back.
Something like that.
Oh, he's the complete head honcho now? That's cool. I like Triple H.
Triple H. No, it says TKO Group Holdings Inc. owns WWE right now. Triple H, through his marriage to Stephanie McMahon, was a member of the McMahon family, which held a controlling interest over WWE until its sale to Endeavor in 2023.
All right.
So it's a talent agency that spun off UFC to merge with WWE in 2023.
Oh yeah, that's right. They are supposed to be. Yeah,
Yep.
I forgot about that.
I'm
all back
Triple
in.
H has like it says, oh, that was in 2017 or 2016.
I think he's creative.
2016.
And he's probably the CEO, I would imagine. Like he just but it probably doesn't
Triple
own
H
it.
owned 0.7% of it in 2016. But it doesn't say anything about now. Oh, then I'm looking.
Is he considered like the greatest champ of all time? Because they were talking about John Cena. I didn't realize it till my daughter gets into it. He's won the whatever. There's like 18 different championships, but he's won the main one or whatever like 16
I think
times or
Cena has
something
the
like
most.
that.
I'm pretty sure. He
Does that
either
make him the best though?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like people are like, oh, he's the best because he's won it the most. I'm like,
No.
I don't know, dude. Like I would say something like Triple H. You know, like
Yeah.
he won it a lot, held it a long time, and then he just had like, you know what I'm saying, that music he came out to was, you know, by Motorhead, that was dope, you know. Triple H.
What'd you say,
dope.
The Rock?
He's COO
Rock.
right now. Triple H is COO of WWE.
He is?
Ric Flair and Cena are tied. Yeah, right? Because if he wins it this time, then he's the winningest.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I knew
right.
Cena was up there.
Yep, he's head of the creative department.
Dude, Macho Man was the champion for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't win he was more intercontinental guy.
He was
you know
never the face of the WWE. Like these other guys are like the face.
He was the voice.
I like Triple H the most just because he was the heel. Like I like rooting for the heel. So I love Triple H and Stone Cold probably.
Stone Cold just brought so much fun, and he started. I think it still happens when I watch it, where they're talking and the crowd just says "what" in the background over and over. You know, every other word the crowd says "what," to everything. I think Stone Cold started that years ago. That guy was great.
I can't believe the Undertaker didn't have the championship more than he did. Like I'm so
How many
surprised.
times did he have it?
But he was not a lot, a couple times I think, but he was really not. He was always the dude that somebody had to beat. Like it was.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I beg your pardon. Sorry, love you, Jake.
You lot
should be ashamed.
No shame here, Jake.
Scott Steiner. Who are you even naming right now?
You remember the Steiner brothers? They were mostly WCW. One of their sons is he's fighting too. He's the Intercontinental Championship. He looks exactly. It's not the popular one that did the muscles all the time, but his brother, who wore the wrestling headgear, his son is the champ right now, Intercontinental.
I can't believe we're still getting into this, but the Intercontinental Champion isn't even like, that's just the second dude. That's why they always fight over it. Like you can't, like the Ultimate Warrior, I wouldn't put him anywhere near the greatest champions. He was, again, champion for like 5 minutes and he had the Intercontinental title all the time. Like he wasn't,
right.
I loved him.
Right.
He was one of my favorites, but like he wasn't.
For sure. Yeah, it's like a junior championship, you know, it's like an amateur championship.
It was the same thing when they had the American champion ship belt. The fuck was that?
They still do. I'm telling you, if you looked into how many belts they have now, you're like, bro, like, wow. But I guess, you know, you take in.
Everybody needs a belt. It's starting to sound like everybody needs a ribbon.
I'm telling you. I mean, they take in a lot of wrestlers and they got a lot of faces, but like you're right, not everyone needs a belt. There doesn't need to be 18 different belts.
It loses the pause, the build up of it ruins the build up of the big championship. You know what I mean? It sounds it sounds like everybody gets a fucking ribbon to me. You get a belt, and you get a belt, and you get a belt.
None of them matter, except for the heavyweight. None of them matter. Ken Walters, my favorite.
I'm saying, Meg.
Mad Dog, over here. Rowdy Piper. Yeah, he was a great heel. And Jesse Body Ventura. Damn, you're going back. Original.
Ken Walters, old school, man.
Yeah,
old
that's OGs.
R.I.P. Maybe all three of them, but definitely Rowdy Piper.
Jimmy Snuka, yeah. Was he the first high flyer? I think he was the first high flyer.
Joseph.
He might have been.
Oh,
Jimmy
damn.
Superfly.
Oh, damn. Joseph went there.
Am I getting roasted now?
No, you're not at all.
No, it's not you, Jim. It's not
No.
you for once.
Wow.
Kenneth, what do you want to know?
All right.
What do you wanna know?
Dude, we were not even supposed to do this. We were literally just supposed to, hey, where you wanna go to music? You wanna go to where you wanna do next? Hot topic? What's up?
You said hot topic?
Yeah.
I'm down for whatever.
Store hot topic.
That's what I was gonna say. You talking about a hot
Not a hot-
topic?
not a-
or
You guys are going to go to Hot Topic with Little G?
Yo, I'm not trying to do hot takes tonight. I'm just trying to like edge a little bit. That's
She
it.
is
That's
all of her reels and memes that she puts up in her stories lately are just bringing everybody back. Like
I
there was
can't-
one that I saw in my algorithm that talked about Spencer's, and it's like yes, Meg, like the farther back in the
Wow.
store that you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're like, where am I? What's
The weirdest
happening,
shit
bro?
happens.
Yep.
Yeah. I love your reels and your stories, Gary. Like
No,
actually, you both.
my algorithm's on point right now. They are
It's
only
good.
giving me 80s, 90s shit. And I'm like, yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
That's
It
all I want
takes
to
me
say.
back, man. I love seeing that stuff, man.
I forgot
Those
it
are the
was,
days.
does anybody in here at all remember Five Alive?
No.
The fake orange juice Five Alive. It
She
was
is
like,
trying to find one
damn,
person.
how did I
Can't
it's like
say
the
that I
old
have.
school Sunny D. Someone's got to remember it. Ken, help me out, man. No, we were
No.
just that. Shit.
I got
well.
you. I got you.
I
Hold
put it in
on.
my stories the other day, and it was like,
I got
thank you, Daniel.
Five Alive.
Dan
Thank you.
remembers it? Wow. I
I
mean,
mean,
I want one just
Minute
looking at it.
Maid? It's from Minute Maid.
Five Alive was the shit.
Or did you remember this one, the frozen one?
I remember that shit too. Thank
That's
you, Ken.
funny. I never seen
The
that.
frozen
before.
juices?
Ken, remember? Wow.
Five Alive for sure. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
What
We had
was-
that shit all the time. It was so not good for you, so not what you needed, but that was always in the house for some reason. I mean, guess that when you have a single mom, that's what happens. But like,
You know what? Okay, so you guys, are into health and wellness, all that stuff. I have to imagine Lil G isn't just drinking juices like they're water, right? Like
Nah.
you're not just like, hey, go have that juice. Okay, so my situation, co-parenting with someone who's on a completely different page. Every time usually one time a day after work, I will FaceTime with my kids when they're not with me, right? And every single time my son has, or actually almost all three of them have, like, you remember them? What were the name of them? They're like juices that you peel off like aluminum foil type thing off the top.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and they were like wider in the middle, and I mean those things are loaded with sugar, like loaded.
yeah, they're crap.
And like and so he's slamming one of those, and then next time I call, he's slamming some other juice, and it's like, okay, how do I when he's with me, obviously keep him more in check, a lot more in check, but is it just one of those where I just have to, like, it is what it is because I can't control what goes on when he's not with me? Just do my best when he's in.
I think so, unless you're able to have a conversation about it. If you don't feel like you're able to have a conversation about it, then you can only do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like you can only control what is in your house, the rules that you set, the boundaries that you set. And, if it starts to become a conversation, well, mom lets me do this and whatever. Yeah, that's fine over there. I don't agree with it, but that's what you're allowed to do over there. I think it would be different if you'd be able to have a conversation with her to be able to come to a common ground of like, hey, not saying that they can't like have something fun, like at a party or special occasions or whatever. But, I think it's more beneficial for them to have more water and whole foods and, that kind of stuff. So I think you kind of have to decide how much of a headache you want to have because you can't control
Do you
her
have them? Do
situation.
you have them like exactly 50% of the time? Is it
Yeah.
50-50 completely?
Yeah.
Down the middle?
Friday to Friday. Yeah.
So like you have them Friday to Friday and then she has them on the weekends? Or
No, I'll have them like I got them yesterday. I'll have them to next Friday, and then I drop them off, or after school, she'll pick them up to the
Oh, okay.
following Friday.
Oh,
week
okay.
on,
So
week off.
it's like week to week to week to week kind of thing.
Right, right.
Okay.
And to your point, it's that's the hardest thing right now. It's just I even told you today. I said we got Thea just turned 8. My youngest just turned 8. I said we got 10 more years of co-parenting with a minor child, and she's doing some other things that are just she's not living up to what she said. Right. Anyways, I'm like, you want to co-parent like this for the next 10 years? This is how you want to do things, like where we can't have a conversation, we can't get on the same page. You're doing things behind my back. You're not keeping up your end of the bargain on certain things. Like this is what you can do for 10 more years. So it's like, yeah, when they're with me, the hardest thing in those situations, when I'm like, hey, we're not going to do that juice, have some water, so on and so forth. We're going to go outside. We're going to ride our bikes. It's, well, mom doesn't make me do this. The hardest thing to do is not trash her, which I haven't done. I refuse to do that. I don't want to be like, well, your mom's an idiot. I kind of want to say that, but they'll figure that out in time. Kids are smart. They'll start understanding and seeing trends and certain actions. So yeah, it's just I don't know if there was any other angle I could come at it, like, hey, like how do I get her to understand, like, hey, just unlimited juice, unlimited screen time, unlimited, that ain't good. It's not gonna lead to anything good.
can you feel it like when they come back after being a week over there? Is there like a 2-day, 3-day period where they have to get back into the groove
Like
of
a
being at
detox almost.
dad's house?
100%, 100%. As a matter of fact, the biggest thing, it's not necessarily like eating and stuff like that, although that's definitely part of it. I think they're getting used to it now. Hey, dad's a little bit more, I don't want to say strict, but a little bit more aware and cognizant of what we put in our bodies and things like that. But it's their mom's way of communicating is that everything in this moment is the most big deal in the world. And there's no like conversation. There's just flipping the F out about everything, just always over the top. So we're on the second day now that I had them. We're folding laundry a minute ago, and they're just freaking out on each other. And I got to be like, yo, hey, we don't need to do that. We can talk to each other like this. Even if you're upset, you could just take a step back, create some space. Let's just talk to each other. We don't need to do that. So that's usually the biggest thing, is like getting them to undo the first few days, the overreaction, and then paired with the eating whatever they want, drinking whatever they want type of deal. But yeah, it's fun.
She doesn't talk shit about you, does she? Do you ever hear that? Like, do they ever, like, do you guys have that?
I don't know.
If that's the
I don't
case.
know. I think she does. I know she does with her new boyfriend, because he'll even talk shit to me through text message. He'll
See,
send me some
nah,
shit,
man.
and I'm like, I won't even say anything back, because I'm like, I ain't even gonna entertain you, dude.
Just keep those.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep those.
Oh yeah. I definitely have those, and then she'll get in on it too, and take cheap shots and just outlandish stuff, and I just in the moment I'm like, damn, that's fucked up, but then I just laugh, because I'm like, yo, what you're doing right now, you might think it feels good and so on and so forth, but in 5 years, 10 years, like, especially when they start seeing stuff, who you really are, you're going to have to suffer those consequences, So it's frustrating, but I don't expect anything less from someone like her, and clearly this boyfriend who she still hasn't let me meet after a year of dating.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
Yeah,
Just
that
wild.
is.
That's super
That is.
crazy.
But you can only do what you can do with your kids when you have them. You know what I mean? Like if it comes down to it, she's gonna do what she's gonna do, and it's sad for the kids because it's just creating confusion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, well, I can get away with this here, so this must be okay. But then I'm here and I can't do this, but I can do this here. It's just going to cause for more confusion. But all you can do is continue to like break the cycle the best way that you can. You know what I mean? Like with
This is good. Is mom open to any dialogue about it? She gets to play good cop weekly with this. Maybe you can. Nope, she's not open to any dialogue.
God, I'm telling you, someday I really hope that's the case, that she's open to talking. But for our entire relationship. There were red flags the whole time, is specifically, not just, but specifically with communication. She can't, like, as soon as you hit a certain nerve, we say something, you know, we all have friends like that where you can't say nothing and it's just like 0 to 100. And the conversation is over. We can't progress in that, you know, we can't weed the garden, we can't figure stuff out. And it was just years of years. And now that she's doubled down on everything, there is no talking. I can't even get her right now to own up to the childcare that we're supposed to split before after school care. There's a cost for that, right? And
Yeah.
I pay all of it, and she agreed that she would pay the other half. And for what are we, 5 months, 4 months into the year, she hasn't paid a dollar. So she won't even uphold that stuff, let alone have a conversation with me.
Dude,
She's
that
not
sucks.
capable of it right now.
Fuck, that sucks.
Are you back? I mean, do you have? I remember the last time we talked, you said that you were doing all this shit by yourself. Have you thought about getting a lawyer and getting legal and all this type of stuff, especially with the stuff that you guys agreed on? And if she's not upholding what the agreement is, then you have every right to go back to, as frustrating as it is for you. I can only imagine how frustrating it is, but to go back to the courts and be like, hey, listen, this was our agreement. I have the proof of me living up to this agreement. There is nothing from this side. You know what I mean? Like you have to make those choices when it comes to your kid. When it comes to your kids, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to continue to be messy, but you also got to fight for your kids. You know what I mean? So have you had any thought about going to maybe get a lawyer and really, change some stuff?
I definitely have. It just comes down to finances at the moment to be able to afford the lawyer.
Yeah.
But it's possible. The thing is, I know how much all of this has already been such a change for my kids that if I was to do something now that could be considered drastic or a big change for them, I would never want to do anything that would hurt them. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that if I was solely the sole parent, things would be great. But that could take time. And my oldest is 12, and she's in it. You were 12-year-old girls. You know how that goes. It's she's already in it right now. So to make a big drastic change, I'm like, all right, I'm weighing all the options, and definitely, I have legal counsel. Matter of fact, I work for a law firm, so but they don't do divorce stuff. They do other things. So like I'm definitely weighing the options, and if things do get bad enough, then it's like, all right, we're done. Like we're gonna do this. But yeah, I don't want to change too much for them, man. They've been such rock stars through this. It's unbelievable. This is all the horror stories you hear. Like they've been so good that I'm like, all right, let's hope mom gets her shit together soon enough.
Yeah, 12 is a tough age, especially with your mom. Like that's when you know what I mean. Like our ovaries start working, the hormones start going, shit changes. Like that's a weird age.
It starts then and continues for the rest of our life. So we're in it. That's it.
I'm gonna start asking all the ladies soon, right? Because I'm gonna have to deal with menopause soon, or premenopause, or whatever the hell that shit is. I'm getting hot for no reason over here.
No damn reason.
I'll have to start talking about that soon. But yeah, dude, no, thanks for coming on and hanging out. I'm glad I got to play around and see, and we'll have it better next time. I just wanted to see how it all works and what all the layouts look like and stuff. So thanks for testing.
You guys did great for sure.
Thank you, Germ. We'll talk to you soon.
Anytime. Love you, girls.
Bye.
Later, dude. All right, cool. That was fun. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out.
Yeah.
Figure this thing out. Premenopause. Yeah, kind of. It struggle's real. I think it's happening.
I don't think it's happening yet.
I do.
You keep thinking it's happening, but it's
paranoid
not. I don't
about
think
it.
it's happening yet.
But yeah. Well, this is fun. We'll do this once in a while. Come hang out in an afternoon show and just try to sit and chill and talk about whatever. But yeah, thanks everybody. Appreciate you. Have fun tomorrow. Happy Easter for everybody who does Easter.
Meg's still sending me Katy Perry
videos.
Please
stop with Katy Perry. I can't even anymore.
Meg, they're so good.
Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks a lot. Oh, what?
Test passed. Kenneth says 10 more minutes.
What? 10 more minutes? Why? What are we doing?
Because we're almost at no, 15 minutes
No,
is 2 hours. It's 15 minutes.
Hey, we almost didn't even make it an hour. Like I was just trying to test this. This turned out to be fun, but I was just trying to see what was up and how this was gonna work. But
Yeah.
this is so cool. Aloha. Yeah, have a great Saturday night. Kenneth, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Test pass. Thanks, Joseph.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
you.
We appreciate this. Was fun.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
great. Okay, cool.
So we'll see you guys
We'll
around
see you
here.
soon. We'll pop up
sometimes.
sometime, somewhere, someplace,
And then we have some shows coming up on ours.
which I still have to put up that I
Yep.
did not put up yet.
We are.
Oh, the next one I think is 300.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's a big one. So.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
But all right, guys.
All right.
Have a great night. Love y'all.
See ya.
Deuces.
Bye.